Live from Brooklyn, New York, this is Stay Busy with Armand Sadler.
Well, you know that I'm the guy. I'm out here living life. I'm busy. Stay busy. Making moves and catching flights. So please don't waste my time. I'm busy. Stay busy, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Stay Busy with Armand Sadler, where we have responsible discussions on the entertainment business and the entertainment culture. I'm your host, head honcho, vegan chorizo papi, founder of BNB, otherwise known as the Bald Bombshell. Very happy to be back here. Thank you all for tuning in. I know that we were not here last week. Took a week off. You know, sometimes it happens. It's I told you guys, I'm gonna be here most weeks, but there's gonna be some weeks where I'm just not here. But there's a bunch of old episodes for you to listen to. In the meantime, if you're behind, like my mom, you got plenty of time to catch up. But if you are new, then make sure that you subscribe to the YouTube channel and subscribe on your favorite audio streaming platform. Leave a like, comment, share with your friends, all that good stuff. It does so much for us. And if you want some bonus unfiltered content, subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/StayBusyPod for raw, unfiltered, fun, early episodes too. You get them early. So, I mean, you can get your money's worth there. But this week, I am very happy to have with me someone who is very cool. So this person has the distinct characteristic of being someone that I wanted to ask to come on the show. And before I could ask her, she asked me.
Which was a joke.
Okay, yeah. I thought it was, but it was like, little do you know, I actually want you on the show. So the timing worked out perfectly. There are a few things that I really enjoy about my office. I enjoy the free breakfast. I enjoy the sparkling water stations on the 5th floor. And I enjoy every time that I get to run into this person. She is PMC Gang, currently the senior manager of content and production at Billboard. She's also a New Jersey legend, which I somehow only recently learned when I got her number and saw her zip code. But most importantly, she is a fellow pop music lover with a special focus on the Joe Bros, the Jonas Brothers. So please, word to Sabrina Carpenter, give a warm welcome to Emily Fuentes. Welcome. Woo!
Thanks for having me. I'm honored, honestly. And it really was a joke.
I believe you.
But you caught me on one of those moods where I was like, you know what? Mm-hmm. Why not?
I was really interested in like what inspired you to ask, but I was like, okay, perfect, great.
I don't know. I think it was just one of those things where I was like in a silly, goofy mood that I was like, oh, yeah. I was probably responding to like a million people's Instagram stories.
Yeah.
At that point, I was in one of those. Definitely not. Okay. I don't think so.
Because that's usually when I respond to everyone's stories. When
I send a lot of likes.
It's my bag.
Yeah.
It's my bag.
100%. I get that. But no, I don't think this one was one of those.
Okay.
Which I think says a lot.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, and it's like, because like we're cool, but I'm almost trying to think back to like when we met in the office. Like I vividly remember there was one day where I was filling up my big ass water bottle. And you saw me like flip the top of the thing. You're like, yo, you can do that? I was like, yeah, that's how I fill my bottle up every day. And you and Mark would always be talking a bunch. And sometimes I would be in the conversation. Sometimes I wouldn't. I think I followed you on Instagram like last year around Halloween. And yeah, I don't know. We've like, I don't think we ever like formally met, but we were just always like cool.
Yeah.
So, and now we're like cooler.
Yeah.
And we bonded over things. And so, yeah, I was like, yeah, I would love to have her on the show. It'd be cool.
You know that I distinctly remember the water bottle interaction because it changed my life.
Yeah.
Because my bottle is not as big, not as impressive, but also doesn't fit under the thing. So it blew my mind.
Yeah, no, it took me maybe a month or two from when I started in 2022 to figure it out. Because sometimes I would go down to the 2nd floor to fill it up, but then it's like everyone's in that kitchen waiting.
That kitchen gives me anxiety.
Yeah,
There's
it's
too many
mad traffic.
people.
Like, you know, the microwaves, it feels like if you have to, like, the breakfast sandwiches, you got to defrost them and then heat them up. So I feel annoying if I defrost it and then I got to put it back in there. Someone else is waiting to warm up their coffee or something. Like,
yes, but I feel more uncomfortable heating up my food on our floor because it's all people I know.
Right.
And I'm also like, I don't want to like affect people's space.
Yeah.
I even feel bad washing my water bottle in the sink because I'm like, is the water making too much noise?
Right, yeah. That's my concern with the microwave.
Yeah.
I also didn't know that like every floor doesn't have microwaves.
No.
I didn't know that. That's
I did. Yeah. Well, you also are teaching me something new, that there's some sort of water station upstairs.
Yeah, the sparkling water station on the 5th floor.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. I discovered that literally day one.
Oh, good.
Like
That's a good
my
one.
very first day. So when I put together my little photo dump to announce that I was at Vibe, I was like, "Yo, we got a sparkling water station. And you can control like how fizzy it is and the flavors and stuff. Like
that's iconic, actually.
It's dope.
But you see, it makes me nervous to go up there.
Right? Yeah.
It makes me nervous to go by where you guys are.
Really?
Yeah. I just like.
The fifth floor people just seem like in a whole different world.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, I don't go up there much anymore, but
the vibes are different.
Yeah, very, very different. But glad to have you here.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, of course. Looking forward to everything that we're going to get into. So let's jump right into this new music chat. We had 4 new projects this weekend, all of which I enjoyed. Doesn't happen often. First, what kind of music listener are you? Do you try to stay tapped in with like all the new stuff? Do you only go for like who your favorite artists are? Are you an album listener? Do you make playlists, or do you just listen to like older throwback type stuff? Like,
so I feel like I tend to like stay in these are my favorites. This is what I'm listening to every day. I tend to be the type of person who I'm just like, I can't wait for this person to drop an album. Yeah. Then they drop it and I don't listen to it for like weeks. And I don't know why I'm like that, because I'm just like, I don't know, foaming at the mouth, waiting for it to drop. And then as soon as it drops, I'm like, I have other things I'm going to do instead of, it's just such a weird, thing that I do.
Foaming at the mouth.
So, but I will say I used to be a big playlist person. I had one ginormous Spotify playlist that was just like my greatest hits that I would drop every song that I've ever loved on it. And that was great. And then I fell off doing that, which is a bummer because I really liked it. But normally if they're like my favorites, I'll do from start, like top to bottom album, complete listen to.
Yeah. I feel like I used to be an active playlister, like putting out new ones every week for people. Like the different themes, concepts.
It's a lot of work.
All that. It was a lot of work. It was fun, but I just don't have the time now. But for me, like when a playlist gets like too long, I don't even want to like, it's almost like I might as well just go to my liked songs on Spotify and just hit shuffle. Because
do you actually like avidly like songs on Spotify?
I like songs aggressively.
I don't.
I even like stuff that I haven't listened to yet, just so I remember to get to it if I'm like scrolling through, or if it's a shuffle day. But yeah, I checked today. I think I have like 7,189 like songs.
I can't tell you the last time I liked a song. And if I like the song, it's by mistake.
Wow.
It's never, I don't know why I don't do that anymore. And I think it's because I did that long playlist. So I'd just add everything to it.
Okay.
And then since I stopped doing that, it's just like, which is a bummer because there's a lot of songs that I'm like, oh, I remember it kind of went like this and I really liked it and now I can't find it.
Yeah, my listening habits change so frequently. It's like I'll get obsessed with an album and I'll listen to it aggressively, or I'll get obsessed with a song and I'll listen to it aggressively, and then I'll have a new favorite song, and then 6 months later, I'll forget that previous favorite song. So then if I happen upon it accidentally, I'm like, yo, I love this song. What the fuck happened? So I try to like everything just so Spotify will somehow bring it back to my purview.
I should do that.
Yeah.
I should do that.
Yeah, it helps. I remember when I used to be an Apple Music guy, I would like use because like there's the add feature and then there's the love feature. But I don't know if they made like a love playlist like of all the songs you loved. I don't remember.
So then you don't even know how like you would access those?
Yeah. It was just like, am I training the algorithms of what type of music I like?
I don't love that.
Yeah, it was too much. So Spotify keeps it simple. Just like it, add it. But let's get to this first project. Miley Cyrus, More to Lose. This might be the first time we've discussed Miley Cyrus on this playlist. So you're just helping us break a lot of different ground. So shout out to you.
I got you.
I don't think I've listened to a full project of hers since her 2019 one. I don't remember what that was
Plastic
called.
Hearts? Was that what it was called? The Pink?
I want to say like Ghostface Killer on that one? I gotta look.
Yeah, let's do it.
I gotta look. But while I look it up, how did you feel about More to Lose?
I loved it.
Yeah.
We were talking about this when you sent me the list of things to listen to. I was a little nervous because I loved her so much. And growing up, this will be interesting to see how much you know.
Yeah.
I had a Niley Stan account, right? So like Nick Jonas, Miley Cyrus
wow.
Stan account because they dated when we were little. Yeah, that type of stuff. I mean, the social media manager pipeline to like music is really, it's strong. But so I was obsessed. So everything she would take out, I would like she was my queen. I would listen to everything. I was, then in the recent years, I don't know. She's lost me, and I don't know why, because the music is so good, and every time I listen to it, it's so good.
Yeah.
But I think I'm scared that she's going to put out something I'm not going to like.
Yeah, that's real.
And I love this.
That's a real feeling.
From start to finish, I loved it. I think it was interesting towards the end.
Mm-hmm.
I think she ends it with like a
prelude.
Yeah. Which I thought was cool because she's like speaking in it.
Mm-hmm.
It feels very personal. Her voice is amazing. It gets better and better.
She's a singer.
It's just like, yeah. And it feels kind of like disco poppy a little bit.
Yeah.
Which I think like fits her voice incredibly. So I'm a big fan for sure.
Yeah, I was into it too. I mean, I'm like, somehow any album, regardless of what artist it is, I'm always drawn to like the slower ballad type stuff. So her starting with the title track, More to Lose, I loved that. Like you said, she sang her ass off on there. That's one of the songs I saved. And End of the World kind of, I don't know if you watched How I Met Your Mother, but it kind of reminded me of like a song that would play like at the end of an episode after like Ted Mosby has his like fucking coming of age moment where he just realizes like, this is what I have to do to get the woman. And he's like walking through New York and the sun is shining. Like it was a very like upbeat type of brighter type of song.
Yeah.
Something Beautiful was a bit jarring. Like I liked the really slow parts, and then when she kind of got to the crescendos each time, I was like, oh, this just kind of threw me off a little bit. But it was cool. I liked it. I saved that one too.
Yeah,
so.
I definitely understand what you're saying. It felt a little bit like cinematic.
Yeah.
A few of those tracks, and also just like we're going to discuss another project that I felt the same way about, where I was like, oh, this is taking me back to like a rom-com. Like I can see this being played in some sort of scene, which I think tells the story of how special music is, because it can transport you or bring you somewhere, even if it's not like something that you've lived per se, which I think like Miley does so wonderfully.
For sure. The 2019 album I was referring to was She Is Coming. It must be an EP because it's like 7 songs.
Yeah.
But Ghostface Killah was on there.
Okay.
And so was Sway Lee. So yeah,
nice.
That's like the last full Miley project that I listened to, because like I really do enjoy like pop music, but I'm definitely like a casual to it.
Yeah.
Like I think last year I was obsessed with Sabrina Carpenter's album.
As you should be.
I played that up and down.
So good.
That was my album of the year last year. Like,
short and sweet.
That was my album of the year for sure. And like Billie Eilish's, like pop had such a great year. Charlie XCX, Chaperone,
amazing.
Like, so many dope artists are doing their thing. But with Miley, it was just like, of course, as a kid watching Disney Channel, Hannah Montana, like all those tracks, I would hear them on MTV, or if I was listening to Z100, shout out to Z100.
Yeah, love
like,
Z100.
Yeah, it's so good to have someone from Jersey here who like knows.
Is Z100 not?
No, is just what?
Is just Jersey?
I don't know. I don't. Maybe I haven't talked to a New Yorker about Z100.
Maybe.
But I don't know. Like, it's just cool to know that like you get it.
Yeah.
Like my drives home from middle school, my mom would want to have like 98.7 Kiss FM on. I'm like, no, you got to put Z100 on so I can hear, fucking A Day to Remember, but then also hear Smack That by Akon. But
not
then
A Day to Remember.
A Day to Remember.
Smack That.
Hell yeah. Or All American Rejects.
Yes.
It Ends Tonight. Like
So
Z100 just gave the hits. And like, I went to a middle school in Hoboken, so it was a very diverse class of students, diverse races and all that. So I had like my homies who I'd listen to hip hop with, and then my white friends would put me on to the alternative rock, the Fray, Hinder, like, all those bands. So yeah, I ended up having a really diverse palette at that point. And then you throw in, when you're watching Disney Channel, you're getting familiar with, the Miley Cyruses and the Demi Lovatos and all that. So there were always people who I enjoyed, but I guess as I got older and wasn't watching Disney Channel anymore, like Miley just kind of
fell off a little bit.
Yeah, she wasn't just in my rotation. But I did really like Flowers a couple years ago.
So good.
Yeah, great record. So.
Yeah, Grammy winning.
Yes. Yeah. So big shout out to her. But yeah, More to Lose is great. So if y'all are like us and the Disney Channel kid within is still, prevalent, I think More to Lose you'll be happy with.
Definitely.
So definitely check it out. Let us move on to Pink Pantheress Fancy That. Pink Pantheress Fancy That was a 9-song project, 20 minutes. She's good at not taking up too much of your time. I'll tell you that. I really appreciate that. We have the ongoing conversation that in the streaming era, these albums get loaded up. They're long. a lot of filler. They take up too much of your time. You might get bored halfway, but like Pink Panthers, if you like put her album on and you do any activity and you kind of like aren't like actively listening, but you might come back to your senses and then be done with the album.
Yeah, that's what happened to me.
It's so quick.
Low key, I was like, wait, it restarted again, and I was like, oh, I kind of know this. I was like, I love this.
Yeah.
Like, what is it? And it was the first song again, and I was like, okay, we're back. But I do feel like it's a little short. It's a little too short. For
yeah, no, I agree. Like, I appreciate it, just given how like busy I can be. I don't necessarily have time to commit to a super long project, but I think her artistry is good enough to where she could give us a little more.
Yeah, for
she
sure.
Could give us a little more. So I like this. I ended up saving a bunch of it, but I'd say my favorite songs were like Stateside, Romeo, the closer was really good. Stars was good, Noise was good. So yeah, I was happy with it. I might be partial to her 2023 album, Heaven Knows, just because it had features like Central C was on there, Remo was on there, Ice Spice was on there. So for me, I always like to hear a little like just vocal variation, and this was just all her, but it was still good. Like, I can't. I talked about this a couple weeks ago with another one of our guests, but like we were talking about Young Thug. I was like, well, what's a bad Young Thug song? I don't think I've ever heard a bad Young Thug song, and I feel the same way about Pink Panthers. I've been listening since 2021, and just her brand of music, the electro, dance, pop, all that stuff comes together, and like I've never heard anything. I'm just like, yo, turn that shit off. That's just whack. Like,
yeah,
it's
fun. This is the other project that I was talking about that I felt like it like transformed me, or it just like gave me. I could see this in like a club scene,
for sure,
in like some sort of 90s movie,
or
2000s, and I was like, this is what I thought they were going to play at the club growing up, which they don't play, and so it's just like a really nice like nostalgia project, which I think she does really well.
Absolutely.
Where it feels authentic to her. A lot of the time, some people can like try to do it and it's corny, and there's nothing corny about the way that she does things. I thought, is it illegal? Is the first one?
That's the opener. Yep.
Opener, loved it. That was, like I said, came back around and I was like, oh, this is it. Like, I'm into this. I loved Romeo, like you said. And then what was the single? There was a single that came out.
Tonight. I think Tonight.
Tonight.
Was a single.
Yes, loved
Tonight. Was
yes,
hard.
loved Tonight.
That's the one.
So when it came back around, I was like, okay, totally makes sense why this is a single. Like, she knows what she's doing. I'm like, you have your finger on the pulse. It's also a different version. Gives me like Charlie XCX of like Brat a little bit of like filling that gap, but different. Because this is more like sparkly girly pink, whereas like obviously Brat was like that like slime green, but feels like sisters in a way, where it's filling a little bit of that gap for me, which I liked.
And I want to say in a recent interview, one of them said they wanted to work with the other one.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. So Charlie,
I would love that collab.
Yeah, on Twitter, Charlie was like, yo, what's up? Let's do it. So streets need that. But Brat was dope.
I'll be listening to it.
Yeah, I'm there for it as well. So Pink Panthers, you guys had her in The Office recently.
Yeah, apparently, and no one told me.
You didn't know?
No, when I was there, I think it was filming something else. Mike Sapp, do you know Sapp?
Yeah,
okay. He was the one who was like, yeah, Pink Panthers was just here. That's my Sapp impression. And I was like, why didn't you tell me? Like, I would have loved to have done something with her on the video side, like something more long form. I think she's so cool.
Yeah.
She's so talented because I'm pretty sure she produces all her stuff.
Does it?
Which is just impressive. How many artists can say that they do that and they have that sort of talent. And do it well and have like a signature sound. Because when you listen to a track by her, you're like, oh, that's, you know it's her.
Yeah.
So she's so herself. So I would have loved to have done something like long form. So if you're watching, let's get you back.
Do it.
And so
shout out to her.
Next
project. This one's like up there for my favorite release of the weekend. This is Naomi Sharon's The Only Love We Know, 6-song EP. How'd you feel about it?
I loved it. I was taken aback by the voice. I've never heard of her.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this was like new for me.
Yeah.
I did some research because I was like, wait, who is this?
Yeah.
First female signed to OVO.
Yeah.
Was kind of shocked by that too. I was like, I don't know if I would have made the pairing, to be honest, but maybe that's just like my little knowledge of OVO, to be fair. But I was just like, wait, this is incredible. This was the album that I was like, I need to send this to my sister. Like, she's gonna love this.
Yeah.
She's gonna eat it up. And again, voice is incredible.
Yeah. She always gets like Sade comparisons,
Yes.
and that's a big influence for her. So
Yeah, the waves.
Yeah.
I think there's a song where there's like a waves.
probably Calm Waters.
Yeah, Calm Waters. I was like, wait, am I hearing things? I like turn it off. I was like, wait. So good.
Yeah. And she's like, if you follow her on Instagram, you'll see she's always like near water or in bodies of water and stuff. Like, she's super into astrology and spirituality and all that. So, but yeah, I've had this project for like weeks because I've worked with her team.
Yeah.
And I wanted to just talk to the world about it for so long, but I couldn't. So I'm glad it's finally out. Like, Bittersweet, the opener, is fantastic.
Incredible.
I love the production on there. One of her best vocal performances I've heard. The closer, The Only Love We Know, that was the second single she put out. That's fantastic. Soft Like Dawn, Feels Like Home. Like, she's good. She's got it. I really loved her album in 2023. And I interviewed her that year too. So yeah, it's just like I'm just into it. And it's cool, again, being a big OVO guy, seeing them sign a woman. Because I view them as, I mean, they might as well just be an R&B label between Party, Division, all them. Like, they might as well be R&B, but
yeah, but she's in her own lane.
She is 100%. Yeah, she doesn't sound like any of them.
Any of them, like, to the point. Like, again, like, put me on to the point where I like had to search who this was. I was like, wait, what is this voice? Like, I need the background, and I was just like caught off guard. But yeah, definitely impressed, and I'm gonna have to like dive into the discography a little bit more, just because this project was so great.
Yeah, check out her 2023 album. It's called Obsidian.
Okay.
My song recommendations would be Regardless, Push, Time and Trust. But honestly, it's just a great album overall. So I think you'll like it. She sounds great live too. So if you can, I know she toured with Thames last year. She did her own little tour too. So if you can catch her live at some point, do it. It's worth it. But yeah. Big shout out to Naomi. Love this project. Like I said, Bittersweet, The Only Love We Know, like the title track. Y'all should tap in. Like, R&B's alive and well right now. It's great to see. It's honestly what interests me more than like hip hop has been kind of lacking over the last year for me personally. So shout out to R&B for always keeping me well fed. And lastly, also potentially my favorite project of the weekend. Hope She Hears This by Nippa. Nippa's another guy that y'all had come in a couple weeks ago. Carl had him in for a playback. Do you sit in on a lot of the playbacks?
Sometimes I've gotten to sit on a few, and I'm like, they're really, really cool. Didn't know. I've heard of Nippa, so I knew a little bit. Just announced today as our R&B Rookie of the Month. Yeah. And I was like, wait, perfect timing. I just listened to the record. So read up on the write up from Carl, which was great. And again, was like able to listen to the piece, and I was like, okay, I get it. So good. But no, I didn't get to listen in on this one. I don't know. Did he do a listening?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, this was one of the ones. The Carl loves to do this. Like, he'll come say hi to me, say hi to Reggie, and be like, "Yo, I got this person coming in at this time."
Nice.
I'm just like, "Yo, if I have a big meeting, like, I was so upset. The one day I had Miguel come in.
Okay, I was there for that.
I had a brainstorm meeting at the exact same time. I was so pissed. Miguel is like one of my favorite R&B artists.
Okay, me too, though.
All time. I was so mad that, like, meeting him was one thing. Just hearing the new music. So I've been fiending for a new album.
Yeah.
He hasn't dropped since War and Leisure 2017. So I'm like, bro, I need that. Like, I had to miss it. So sometimes, what?
It was incredible, if I can say. I loved it. I'm also easy to please. I love everything, to be fair. So I'm not really a harsh critic. But I love Miguel. Yeah. Been waiting for a new album. But after War and Leisure, he actually dropped like a Spanish EP. Te Lo Dije. My favorite stuff to come out of Miguel. I think very special, the blend of the Spanish, the English of his stuff from War and Leisure. And I got a chance to tell him that.
Wow.
And he was like so thankful to even bring it up. He was like, really, you liked it? I was like, no, it's my favorite thing that you've put out.
Yeah.
So yeah, super
incredible. Most people would say like the Kaleidoscope Dream or the debut All I Want Is You, but like I feel like stuff like Wild Heart and stuff like War and Leisure are things that he's probably like super invested in just because they were so experimental and so artsy. So yeah, I can imagine him hearing that. I loved he had a song Sunbathe in 2021 with Tiny.
Yes.
I love that song.
Yes. So good.
Yeah. That like every summer, that's one of my summer
as
soundtrack.
It should be.
Yeah. It's a great one. But yeah, so Nippa, the playback that Carl had with him, I went into it completely blind. I know like Reggie was talking very, very highly of him.
Mhm.
Carl was like, yeah, no, come through. Like he's nice. So I hear the album in there. I'm like, oh yeah, I get it. Yeah. I didn't lie to me. This was good. So when it dropped Friday, I've been listening to it all weekend. I met up with Carl on Saturday at his house. As I walk in, he's playing it.
As he should be.
It's just like a very easy, straight through listen. 9 songs, 19 minutes. Another short one, but it's fulfilling though.
Yeah, it is.
Like I don't necessarily feel like I need more from this project. Like you start with Insecure, you get to track 2, Some Serious, which like has the sexy drill elements of it. So a little bop to it, and Regular Girl, Kiki's Brown Eye. Like it's this is probably going to be on my year-end favorite projects list. Like if my album of the year right now is Some Sexy Songs for You, like this is probably number 2.
This was my favorite out of the 4.
Okay.
I wasn't expecting it. I had heard the name, so I knew a little bit going into it, but I was pleasantly surprised with how much I really enjoyed it. Again, like you said, short, so it didn't feel like there was anything missing.
Yep.
Felt like a full story. And then reading up the write-up from Carl, I think like just added an extra layer of like getting to know him as an artist. So I think like super special. Loved literally all of it. It was one of those where it was just like I blinked and it was done.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that was incredible.
It's so easy to put on repeat though.
Yeah.
Like I legit have been listening nonstop.
Yeah.
Nonstop. Like I have to intentionally put something else on.
Oh, like move away.
Otherwise, I
that's when you know it's really good when you have to intentionally move away.
Yeah. So I hope that stays throughout the rest of the year, because I think like I'll turn 30 in June, so at my 30th birthday, I'm definitely playing some of these tracks there. Like, sure,
definitely,
it's gonna be a blast. But yeah, and then he's a cool dude too. Like he's got the swag of a rapper. But so I was like, when I met him, I was like, oh, I'm about to hear some like Central C type stuff.
So I thought he was a rapper in the beginning.
He looks like he would be
and then
one.
when
like,
I played it, I was like, wait,
what is it?
Wait. And I knew he was gonna be a rookie.
Yeah,
I didn't know. Clearly, I didn't know what genre he was gonna be.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I also knew that he was from London. So I was just like, oh, I thought it was going to be something like Central C, maybe, I don't know, who else is from London? I'm trying to think. Yeah, like Dave or something like that. Yeah. And wasn't expecting it. Loved it.
You hear these just emotional vocals.
Yeah.
And it's like,
amazing voice. Amazing voice.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very pleased with it. I know he said he's going to have some shows out here soon. I got to go.
Definitely.
Me and Carl said we're going to take him out to Dykeman. And
casual.
Yeah. And when I go out to London, like he's got to show me around too.
Wow, you guys came out of there besties. That's crazy.
We was making plans. We was like, yo, like this music, like we gonna make sure the streets hear this. And just as men with who are in touch with our feelings. Like the title, "Hope She Hears This." That's my bag.
I read that and gasped.
Yeah, I be some nights when I'm drunk posting my IG stories. I'm like, yo, I hope she sees this. Like, so that's that.
Okay, we need to dive into that eventually.
Yeah, whenever.
Because that's an interesting take. I didn't know.
Yeah. Sometimes sometimes you just hope that they see it. Like you might have thousands of followers, but you post one thing for one person, and so. Him with his music, he hopes whoever she is hears this. I hope she heard it too.
I hope she heard it too.
And if she heard it, she's probably knocking on his door.
But I want to know what happens. Like you can't just leave me there.
Yeah, we gotta have a follow up.
But you guys are besties now, so I'm sure you'll fill me in. You'll fill me in.
Yeah. But yeah, so I would absolutely advocate for you all to check this out. A variety of vibes too. Like the closing track, One More, that's more like upbeat, like almost like throwback. Fucking stuff that you could like conga to. It's just real different. And then Unfair is like some classic 2000s hip hop R&B type stuff. So he's got it all. It's really good. So that's Nippa. Hope she hears this. Make sure that y'all hear it.
Definitely.
I will beat it into you all until you hear it. But yeah, lastly, any pop Latin artists or any genre that you've been like really listening to that you want to put us on to?
Okay, we're going to go Latin.
Okay.
There's this guy from Spain, Quevedo.
How do you spell that?
I'm a terrible speller. Very bad. QUE, maybe. BEDO, potentially. Yeah, I don't know. Really, really great stuff. He has he just dropped his second album, Buenas Noches. So good. I was waiting, patiently waiting for something. He said that he was going to disappear in 2024, dropped, but then came back, dropped an album, which was incredible. The rollout was insane. He was like teasing a comeback through like airplane writing and stuff. Super cool. But he makes, I want to say like pop, reggaeton in the middle type stuff. Super fun. Some of his lyrics, I'm like, ooh, but then I'm like dancing. So, it's a mix of stuff. He's doing his first US tour. I missed out on tickets, so I'm really hoping maybe see this, take me out because I need to see it. It's going to be incredible. But all his stuff from start to finish is incredible. He'll do like pop stuff, but then he'll do like something super like a Spanish rap, super hard type stuff. So he's kind of like a mix and a blend of things. But highly recommend.
Okay. Anyone else, or is that the pick of the day?
I think that's the pick of the day. I'm trying to think if there's anything else, but that for me, I'm trying to put everyone on him, right? Because I'm like, he's that great, but maybe not because then I missed out on tickets. So maybe don't. But so good, so good.
Word, awesome, cool. Well, that's our chat for the week. The rest of this episode is me showing how well I've researched you.
Oh gosh.
So this segment, which is really like an extended interview, is going to be called Fuego con Fuentes.
Oh, I like that. That's cool.
I'm very good at what I do.
I like that one.
So first, we're both from New Jersey, so we can do the big reveal now because we have the same zip code.
Yes.
I'm from Englewood, New Jersey.
Okay.
Where in Jersey are you from? Without doxing yourself.
Okay, so I grew up in a town called West New York.
Very familiar with West New York. Very familiar.
And now I'm in North Bergen, which is right next door. So.
Have you done the late night trips to Banana King?
Not late night. I like it in the middle of the day, morning. Love a little shake.
Yeah, the shake.
But I haven't yet because I didn't know that they're open. I think 24/7.
Super late.
Yeah, I didn't know that was a thing.
High school, college, we would get super high and just drive to Banana King.
So what's the order?
God, I think I don't remember like the exact name for it, but I'll pretty much just get a sandwich. I would add bacon to it. I would get an empanada on the side.
Which kind of empanada?
Get a shake.
That's important.
What were their options?
They have the like carne, right?
Yeah.
The like ground beef.
Yeah.
The cheese.
Yeah.
And I'm sure they have other options, but I feel like those are the only two that really matter.
I think I would get the carne.
Nice.
Carne. I need to work on my pronunciation.
No, that was good. That last one was good. Yeah.
Yeah, but Banana King was a spot. I probably haven't had it in like years, but I love it.
Yeah, I lived decently close to a Banana King.
Nice.
Obsessed.
Nice. You mentioned earlier that you have a sister. Like, is that your only sibling?
Yeah, my only sibling.
You older or younger?
She's older.
Older. How
Not
much?
by much.
What's the age gap?
9 months.
Oh wow.
Well, I was a preemie.
Okay.
So we would have been a little over a year apart. But yeah, 9 months. I think I was just like really excited, I guess, to be in the world. Which had I known, not
Trump twice.
Yeah,
I don't know. I might have climbed back in.
I was wrong. I'm sorry. But yeah, 9 months. Older sister. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
and so yeah, born in West New York. You said
born in West
New York. Well, when did you move to North Bergen?
Middle of 8th grade.
5th grade. Okay. Yeah, that's a rough time to move.
Yeah. No. Well, yes, but no one knew that I moved, so I stayed at my middle school.
Right.
Finished it up there, and then moved for high school.
What so you went to what middle school?
West New York Middle School. Real original name there.
Yeah, so they tried hard.
They did.
Do you have a favorite mall in New Jersey?
Oh, good question. I feel like no, but only because I haven't been to the mall in so long. I grew up going to like Newport Mall.
Newport, right.
Because we could take the light rail in.
Right. Shout out to the light rail.
Shout out to the light rail.
Game changer.
Okay. When I moved from West New York to North Bergen, I would take the light rail to school. Because it was like perfect connecting North Bergen to West New York. But yeah, so I grew up going to Newport Mall. Don't love it though, but I'll go if I have to. So I don't know if I have a favorite. I love one of those outlet malls. You know, maybe was it because I get Jersey Garden and there's a Garden State Plaza.
Yeah, GSP is where I go.
Okay, I get them confused because I think it's just the garden in both.
Yeah.
But the one is it near Elizabeth Edison?
What, Jersey Gardens?
Yeah, is that the one?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, that one I like, I
don't think I've spent too much time there. Like, GSP was the one that we would go to.
Where's that?
That's in Paramus.
Okay.
Yeah, and then there's Bergen Mall, which is also in Paramus, but in another area.
Is that the outdoor one? No.
No, it's not outdoor.
Okay.
No. And then there's also American Dream now. I don't know if you've been to
Yes,
American
I have.
Dream.
Jonas Con at American Dream.
Yes, of course. The American Dream is dope. It's fire.
Yeah, but it's overstimulating.
It is too much.
I'm like, how do you, there's too much to see.
Yeah, like activities, restaurants, there's the ski place.
Which I want to do, and I've never done anything like that, but I want to do it.
The one time I was going to go, it was on President's Weekend, and the lines were too long, so we just got a refund. But American Dream's dope. It's cool. Yeah. And it's like, I go to a lot of Jets games at MetLife, so it's right there. So stop in for a drink and then, slide over to
Jets
the stadium.
fan.
Yeah, I'm a Jets fan, unfortunately.
Painful.
I'm also a new Jets fan. So
I did know this, actually.
Yeah,
so I listened to a few episodes of the pod, so I'm aware.
Awesome. I appreciate you doing your education.
Of course.
But yeah, I became a Jets fan right when they got Rodgers, and I thought, it was just going to...
I don't know why you thought that was great.
I thought I was just going to cakewalk to a championship.
I don't know why that was a thought.
Yeah. So you're like tapped in with sports.
Yeah.
Like, besides working in them, which we get you later, like you're a fan.
Yeah, I would say. I don't want to claim I'm a fan because I'm scared of not knowing enough. But I think that comes from working in sports, which we can dive into.
People who give people shit for not knowing as much as them is just weird. Like, sports are very communal for me. Like, if someone is if you can tell they don't know what they're talking about, but they try to come off as if they know what they're talking about, that's annoying. Mm-hmm. But you're just expressing your fandom, so I don't think there's anything wrong with that. So football, baseball, basketball.
Football, not baseball as much.
Baseball. Okay, I don't know. You struck me as a Yankee fan for some reason.
I am a Yankee fan.
Okay, good.
If I have to pick a team, I'm a Yankee fan for sure.
Do you go to games?
I want to. Okay, so I've been to one Yankee game that was at a work event.
Okay.
And I went to a Dodgers game back when I was really little in LA.
Okay.
And that was kind of it on the baseball side of things. Yeah. Just because, I don't know, my family just doesn't watch as much baseball.
Right.
Football became big for me only because when I was in college, I was in Eagles territory when the Eagles won the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So every time they would win, I'd get free Dunkin' coffee, to celebrate an Eagles win. Yeah. So I became an Eagles fan that way. When they buy your affection.
Yeah.
It's like they bought my affection.
That's how it be. I mean, great. I mean, I won't say great 7 years, but winning then and then coming around and winning now.
It's been nice.
Making it a couple years ago, unfortunately losing to the Chiefs. Fuck them.
Brutal.
But okay, I respect that. I've definitely given Eagles fans a lot of shit. I won't give you shit for it.
Thanks.
Because you're cool. I appreciate it. You're not an obnoxious Eagles fan.
Yeah, I try not to be.
I'm glad that if you were to pick a baseball team, you'd be a Yankee fan. Well, you said you are a Yankee fan, so that's cool. They play the Mets this weekend. I'm thinking about going.
Ooh, a Subway Series.
Yeah.
Where, at Yankee Stadium?
Yankee Stadium.
Okay, so that's my biggest thing is I don't want to go.
Why?
No. I don't want to go to Citi Field.
Oh, okay.
But people say the food is really good at Citi Field.
The very unfortunate thing is, and I'm a Yankee loyalist, but a lifelong Yankee fan. Citi Field is kind of better. It's just you got to go to Queens.
Yeah, I don't want to go to Queens.
Yeah,
let's be honest.
Very inconvenient. But the drinks, the food,
and I think they have Chicky and Pete's. Do you know Chicky and Pete's?
I don't.
It's like a South Jersey Philly thing.
Okay.
But it's like a McDonald's, it's chicken and fries, which I can't really be having either, but from my allergies, but I'll have them anyway. But they have these crab fries that they're known for with the special cheese sauce, and I'm pretty sure it's at Citi Field. Okay. Only reason why I want to go to Citi Field.
Okay, you should go.
Yeah,
I know though there's 2 Subway Series this year. There's this weekend at Yankee Stadium, and then in July they'll be at Citi Field.
Yeah,
so I might go to both just because. Hey, fuck the Mets, but their drink options, their food options, they got Empanada Mama there. They have a different burger of the month or whatever.
Nice.
The last time I went, it was a Juicy Lucy, which is a burger in Minnesota where it's 2 big patties with cheese within them.
Ooh.
It's good shit. It's really good shit. So as much as going to Queens is annoying, and as much as the Mets are gross, if you do get a chance to go to Citi Field. Check it out.
Yeah, I probably will. Yeah. Unfortunately, hate to say it, but I will.
How about basketball? I know you were talking about the Knicks earlier. Are you?
Okay, so I'm I feel bad being I want to be a Knicks fan, but I do.
I mean,
but I feel bad because it's when I worked in sports, it was so easy to be the Knicks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
now they're really good.
But you know what it is? It's good for the city.
It is. Yeah, the city's lit.
But that's the thing. It's last year when it seemed like the Mets were going to take it.
Mm-hmm.
I was obviously the Yankees made it, but it was one of those things where I was okay, even if this means that the Mets win and the Yankees don't, right? I was like, it's good for the city.
Yeah.
And if it's good for the city, I'm into it. So, I mean, I think there's something so fun about being a Knicks fan because there's just like so much hope. Obviously, they've had like a tough go at it. So it's like just everyone's like so happy, even with like one win, which I appreciate. So
no, they're having a great time right now. I'm a Lakers LeBron guy, and so it's my life is a little tough. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I've gotten over it now. I'm a hashtag fan of the sport.
Yeah. But, you had the golden years though.
Sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. 2020 pandemic ring was amazing. It was amazing. I was living it up in my crib.
I'm sure.
Me and my cats. But shit, what was I gonna say? We were talking
about Knicks, and you were a Lakers fan.
I had something on the tip
maybe
of my tongue.
we talked baseball. We talked.
Oh, also because the New York Liberty. I'm big into WNBA now. Yes. They won the title last year too, did. So it was like that around the same time as the Yankees in the World Series, the Mets trying to get to the World Series. Like it was just a lot of great stuff going on, and then like football season started, and the Jets and Giants were both bad. But,
Are you into women's soccer at all?
Not really.
Ooh, we got to get you to a Gotham game.
Okay, all right.
Gotham FC.
Let's do it.
New York, New Jersey.
Yeah.
But they play at Red Bull, or no longer Red Bull Arena. I think it's like Sports Illustrated something now, but the Red Bull Arena. Yeah, I used to be a season ticket holder.
Wow.
Loved it.
Just tapped in.
Yeah. Big soccer fan. So
yeah, I become the biggest soccer fan in the world during the World Cup.
As you should.
I'm very
As
basic.
You should.
I'm so basic.
I have the stick. I do the sticker books religiously. Really? Yeah, when the World Cup comes out. So I get
That's
it.
Far. Yeah. No, the World Cup is lit. I'm super active for it. So. But yeah, I haven't been to a live soccer game since I was a kid. So maybe
I love going to a soccer game. Okay. I'll put you on.
Let's do it.
It'll be good.
Let's do it. What is your favorite restaurant in New Jersey?
In New Jersey?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Done. Oh, can I do breakfast and dinner?
Yes.
Okay. So breakfast is this restaurant called The Original Pancake House.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. Big ass omelets.
So good.
Elite.
So good. Like to the point where for my birthday, I don't want to go to dinner. I want to go to The Original Pancake House. Like that's what I want. So big Original Pancake House fan. And then for dinner, this Mexican restaurant called Charritos.
I've heard of it.
Yeah, they have one in, I guess it's Weehawken.
Yeah.
Started off really, really small hole in the wall in West New York. Me and my parents and my sister used to go every Saturday growing up. Super inexpensive, at least back then. And yeah, great memories there. It's some of my favorite food. And now they have something like on the waterfront. A little pricier, obviously, because they're on the waterfront, but incredible food still.
Okay, I'll check it out. Never been. Favorite city to go out in? Are you a Hoboken girly? Are you a Jersey City girly? Are you a Newark Elizabeth? Like where in Jersey are you going out?
I used to be a huge Hoboken girl.
Yeah.
Huge.
Yeah, I mean, I think as soon as you turn 21, it's just so enticing. Like,
yeah. I would go out every Friday, every Saturday in Hoboken. Times have changed. I now go there and I'm like, I'm ancient.
Yeah.
It's all children, and I get it.
Yeah.
I was a child back then too. So now I'm really into Jersey City.
Jersey City is for the little older, more mature, but still fun, still vibey.
Yeah.
Like similar to you, I went to Mad Hatter the other day, and I was like,
Mad
"Why
Hatter.
the fuck am I here?"
Mad Hatter?
Yeah,
was it for the Neo thing?
No, and I'm pissed because I wanted to be there for that, but it was like maybe a couple weeks before then. But I was at Carl's house watching the wrestling show, and then I was like, "Yo, I haven't been to Hoboken in a while," because I went to middle school there. So like Hoboken's like, it's special, the spots, and I was born there, so it's just like, and I always run into people who I like either knew or went to school with, so it's always a cool time. Yeah. But I made the dumb choice of going to Mad Hatter. One, getting charged a cover was crazy. I don't pay covers.
Cover is crazy.
Yeah. It's like an $11 cover. So specific.
Yeah.
Like, get the fuck out of here.
What day was it?
It was a Saturday night. Yeah. Saturday night, maybe
a cover of Mad Hatter on a Saturday?
It was probably like 11 p.m.-ish, something like that. Yeah, so went to Mad Hatter, did not have a good time, didn't run into anyone, and then my friend works at another bar. I forget the name.
Oh, I need to know.
Yeah, I'll let you know. Yeah. If I remember it. But yeah, so I went there and then ended up just kicking it there till like 3 a.m. Like, and I don't be out that late anymore. Like I like to go home and get my sleep, but I hadn't seen her in years, so we were just throwing back shots. She was introducing me to people. And,
nice.
Yeah, so Hoboken, it's kind of like the mall. It's like a once a year type thing. Although I've been going to the mall a little more recently.
Interesting.
Like, I have this issue where I lose one of my AirPods a lot, so I have to get
that's why I don't have AirPods. I'm a wired headphones forever.
it would be the financially smart decision for me, but I just love the convenience of not being tied to something.
Well, my biggest thing is I don't want to charge them.
That too. That gets annoying. And sometimes the charger doesn't work. Like you gotta clean out the thing a lot. So it connects, and there's a lot of annoyances that come with AirPods, but just the sound quality is amazing and the convenience of them.
Well, I have the Apple headphones. I'm sure they're or earphones, I guess is what they're called. The ones that in-ears, whatever.
I've got the AirPod Pros.
Oh, right. Sorry. I don't have a Pro.
I get noise cancellation.
Right. If I play it loud enough, I can't hear you.
I mean, true. True. Yeah. And I have like adaptive hearing and head tracking, like all this stuff. So.
Yeah, that's too high tech for me. Like I don't need all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. So, but yeah. So I definitely love Jersey City more now. I've got like a bar in Clifton that I like, a bar in Edgewater that I like too.
Edgewater?
Yeah. It's called Dino's Grill. It's like it's very, very dive bar. So I
love a dive bar.
Yo, that's my vibe. Like I never liked clubbing. Like even when I was like not of age and could go, it was like, of course, that thrill of, I'm 19, I shouldn't be here, but I'm here. And then like going out with my friends who would, talk to guys and, they would hook them up with bottles and then we would be able to, kind of mooch off them. But clubbing ultimately was just like, damn, like, is this what I'm gonna be doing? Spending mad money on bottles for girls that don't actually care about me?
You see, that's the thing. I don't love bottle service because, like, for what?
Yeah,
it's giving nothing.
Yeah,
and I don't love a club. I don't want to be like uncomfortable when I'm there. Like, I want to just like feel comfortable in my outfit, which you can't like really wear jeans to the club.
Yeah,
so I'm like, that's not the vibe. So normally I like a dancey bar where you're still like moving and grooving.
Yeah,
but it's not. I don't know. I'm not like I don't want to be in a section.
Yeah.
I also kind of want to be with the people like in the crowd, which my friends don't love. They're like, Emily, it's too much, overstimulating. I'm like, this is the best.
Yeah.
I just want to be in it.
That's exactly like that's my, like when I'm lit, I like to dance.
Me too.
I'll be out dancing. I'll be singing, meeting people, all that. Like there's just one party recently where like I bought a section just because it was too packed to where like moving around is like, it's packed like sardines. So it's like, okay, at least I know we have our spot, we have a bottle, hookah, all that, we're good. But otherwise, spending all the money on bottles and sections is just, it's not my ministry.
Yeah.
It's not my ministry at all.
We're on the same wavelength with that one. I also like to do laps, to be fair.
For sure.
So it's I can't, if I'm in a section, I can't be doing that. But,
exactly. Yeah. So, big Jersey City guy now. I've been, I don't know if you've had this experience being a New Jerseyan, but maybe like 92% of all my friends live in New York City. So my social life primarily revolves around New York City. And when I was younger, I could do it. I could come in every weekend. Sometimes I would stay the entire weekend at someone's crib and just do different things. But as I get older, it's a little exhausting now.
Yeah.
And so I'm very selective. Like if I don't have to come here for work or for some like very important event, I don't be trying to come to New York.
Yeah.
And so that's why it's been cool to like find more spots in New Jersey to go to. And I'm still cool with all like my high school friends. Some of them have moved to other states or whatever. So like we don't go out in New Jersey as much, but yeah, like I feel myself becoming more of I'm calming down.
Yeah.
I want to find calmer vibes in New Jersey and be close to home because them Uber prices
are brutal,
trying to
diabolical.
Catch the late bus at Port Authority.
No. You see, but I'm not doing that. That's the thing is I'm like, I'll take the bus in.
Yeah.
Knowing for sure I'm not taking it back.
Yeah.
I'm not going to. It's going to stop.
Yeah.
No, especially if I'm coming into the city. That's where I find it's like if I'm coming to the city, I'm staying out way too late.
Yep.
It's like I don't come to the city and then go home at like a normal hour. Like I would.
It never happens.
Like I would if I'm in Jersey City or Hoboken or whatever. No, if I'm coming to the city, it's like for some odd reason I'm out till too late.
Yep. Always.
So yeah, but I have the opposite thing is most of my friends are in Jersey.
Okay, nice.
Then in New York, yeah, but then they're like, going to Hoboken is so far, going to Jersey City is so far. I'm like, I don't want to go to like a middle of nowhere town where it's like not as fun, you know? So I'm like, but whatever, we'll compromise.
Yeah, and there are just some Jersey people who love going to New York. And so it's just like, damn, you know, you think you find your people who understand, let's just find a Jersey spot. They're like, nah, bro, New York that's the spot. So all right, you do that.
Yeah, no.
I'm good off that.
No.
So, What do you believe is the most slept on aspect of New Jersey?
Ooh, I don't know. The most slept on aspect of New Jersey, maybe our airport. Well, actually, now bad. Have you heard that like Newark Airport is like garbage now?
I haven't had a bad experience.
Okay, well, apparently traffic controllers are like quitting and stuff. Oh. So now like flights are getting canceled, like 1 billion flights are getting canceled. People are like, don't fly out of Newark.
Jeez.
Yeah, but
I was just there last month for my trip to LA and I didn't have any issues or delays.
Yeah, I think it's as of like the last like week or so.
Interesting.
So maybe not, but
I have to travel in a few weeks, so that's good to know. Maybe I'll
keep that in mind. Yeah, but I'm not flying out of any other airport. Like I'm just not going to.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like when I go to certain countries and I have to, go to like LaGuardia or something, that's like, oh.
Yeah, no. You see, I'll pay extra to fly out of Newark. I'm a creature of comfort.
Hey, paying for convenience and comfort. That's my ministry.
Yeah.
These days.
So there's no way. I'm not taking the, I don't know. Yeah. Train. People going on the train with their luggage. I'm like, that I can't think of anything worse.
Never doing that again.
Sounds like a nightmare.
Never doing that.
No, I would never.
Yeah. But no, I would, despite the recent happenings at Newark Airport, I do think it's gotten way nicer,
right?
Way better over the years. There's some good spots. I have like my go-to eats and bars that I stop by.
Ooh, at the airport?
Yeah.
Intrigue. We need to talk about that because
talk for sure. But yeah, I would agree. What did young Emily dream to do job-wise?
Okay, well, to be fair, young Emily didn't want to grow up.
Okay, I was always stay a kid.
Yeah, I always wanted to be a kid.
I feel that.
I think.
Shit, I wish I was a kid now.
Yeah, me too. Me too. I always made, which is kind of funny. It leads me to where I'm at now. But I used to make these little like fan cams, and I used to totally legally download software online on like all these like torrent software and stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I was just like trying to find like the most advanced editing software. Would rip episodes of like Disney Channel shows. And I used to make like fan edits.
Oh geez.
Yeah, so
yeah, we're about to get her.
I know, for real. Sorry. So that was, I think I always wanted to be like a video editor, and then somehow along the way I became obsessed with like medical shows.
Okay.
So then I was like, no, I'm gonna be a nurse.
You watch like Grey's and.
No, I used to watch this show called Mercy.
Okay, never heard of it.
I think it only had like one season. I would watch the one season on repeat. I was obsessed with it. But it starred the main woman from Orange Is the New Black. I'm blanking on her name, but
I didn't watch that like fully. So
well, there you go. But just to give you a face of the name. But yeah, so I thought that I wanted to be a nurse for a little bit, but I'm scared of blood and I'm squeamish. So like clearly wasn't going to be my path.
Yeah.
My parents were like, that's not for you. Which super blessed about the fact that my parents were like, you have always loved being in like the video world. Like they didn't quite understand where I would fit in. I think they knew that I like to edit. So they were like, maybe that's what you want to do. And they were like, be for real. Like you're not going to medical school. Like you're great, but that's not it for you. So they pushed me kind of more in like the artsy side of things. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
It's cool to have that like be cultivated. Like my parents were also they were supportive of what I wanted to do. For the journalism thing, because I've been a journalist since like 2015. I didn't get my first full-time job till 2022. So for years they were just concerned about me making a living, like maintaining my livelihood. And so they would try to suggest me to do other things to supplement my income. And I did work some other jobs. I was a valet at a car dealership. I worked at UPS. I drove Uber, but like this was always the goal.
Yeah.
So like finally landing this job and just like seeing them be happy because they had their doubts about, the viability of this. So it's cool that your parents were really supportive of that.
Yeah, no, I looked out and I know like, especially in the culture, like that, not everyone has that.
Yeah, you better get you a real job.
Job.
What hashtag real job?
Yeah, like what is this? Like you're not I doubt like maybe he does get it a little bit, but like maybe I'm not giving him like the benefit of the doubt. But sometimes I'm like, I don't think my dad knows what I do. So they don't completely totally understand all of it, but I think that they're like, this is what you've always wanted to do. Like we've always wanted you guys to have the chance to do what you wanted to do because they never got the chance to do that. So they're like, we work so hard for what? For you to not be happy and do what you want to? Like, that's not that's not what they wanted for us. And that's not why they sacrificed so much. So I think I lucked out. I know that that's not the story for a lot of people. I think like they growing up were like, M's going to be the doctor. Tamara's going to be my sister is going to be the lawyer because she's genius, probably the smartest person I know. So she can do anything she wants. But yeah, they always thought that she was going to be the lawyer. I was going to be the doctor. And then obviously that didn't work out. She's a journalist too.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So both in the arts, just funny, but yeah.
Is she like entertainment? Or?
Yeah, she's the entertainment editor at Cosmo.
Holy shit. Mm-hmm. That's awesome.
Cooler than me, I know. Real big.
Debatable.
I don't know about that. She's the GOAT, so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Fuck. I had another follow-up
question.
Sorry. Nationality. Well, what are you?
Salvadorian.
Nice. Okay, sweet,
yes.
Sweet.
Born and raised in Jersey, but yeah.
How often do you get back to the homelands?
Oh, I haven't been in a second. I think last time I was there was 2021.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to go back. Scary times, though. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I can imagine. It's crazy in Haiti, too. Like, I want to get back there, but it's just always something going.
Yeah.
So.
When's the last time you were there?
2003.
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's been quite some time.
You're overdue.
Yeah, and like my grandfather, God rest his soul, he started a school down there like over a decade ago, and so I always wanted to go and like help out and volunteer there, but it just, especially high school, college, like it wasn't.
It's tough.
Realistic, and now he's gone, and school's in other hands, and it's kind of chaotic and stuff. So, but I do eventually want to go back, just because like as a kid I didn't appreciate it enough. Like I didn't get it.
Interesting.
It was just like we went to where my grandmother grew up at, and she didn't have electricity there. So me pissed off that my Game Boy Advance died and I can't charge it. And then my mom's like aunt owned a hotel, so when we get there, super nice.
Yeah.
I
have such a similar like thing in El Salvador, but that was like my happy place. I was like, I went maybe 8th grade going into high school that summer. And I didn't want to leave. I like begged my parents to let me stay. I was like, I'll go to this high school. Like I planned it out. Talked to my grandma. She was like, yeah, I'll take her in. Like, don't worry about it. Like, and I thought that I convinced them to let me stay. I was so upset that they made me come back because I loved it so much. Obviously, life would have been so different. Yeah. And I get why my parents were like, no, you can't stay. Like, what do you mean? Like, you live over there. Like, that's where your life is. But yeah, I love it so much. It's just like, I don't know if now's the time. But I'm definitely overdue. Yeah. My grandmother's turning 100 next year.
My goodness.
I know. Crazy, right? Yeah. Kind of cool. So I'm like, we should all as a family go. But it's tough. Yeah. We'll see if we make it happen. But
8th grade's a good time to go, though. I do wish I could have gotten back when I was like older, able to kind of just like get it. Like when you're young, like, because my mom, it was like when I was like 8 when I went to Haiti, she was like, we're going for 2 weeks. I was like,
I always went for 2 weeks
like,
too.
I had to miss football. I had to miss baseball stuff. I didn't see my friends. Like my dad didn't come with us. It was just like a bunch of things that just like made it feel like
more of a chore.
Why am I doing this? And then like I can't charge my Game Boy Advance. Like
right. No, going older is so much fun because I went 2021. I was already legal, and I went out with my cousins. Like we went out on the town. Oh my God! I was like, this is incredible. Yeah. Like it just gave me a different vibe. And then we went out to the beach for a little bit, and I think it's different now that I was like older. My cousins can drive me places. We didn't have to worry about the adults taking us and stuff like that. So there was a little more of like a freeing experience. So yeah. I say your next Haiti trip will be more fun.
Yeah. We'll see when it happens. Yeah. But I definitely do want to get back there. So college, you attended TCNJ, the College of New Jersey. You kept the New Jersey thing. Just you 4 more years. 4 more years. I have a really good friend. Close friend, I call him my brother, Anthony Vincent. He was class of 2017. Okay. I don't remember whether it was like a big school or a small school or whatever.
Tiny school.
I said his name. You didn't react. So you probably didn't know him.
I feel like I know the name, but I don't know if I do. 2017 is my sister's graduating year. She also went to TCNJ. Yeah. So maybe I'd have to like do like an Instagram search. Maybe
he was a brother of Phi Kappa Psi. I don't know if he went to like a lot of frat parties.
So at that time, there wasn't really. It was like a lot of underground stuff for them. Right. Yeah. So I don't know how much they really had. I'm gonna do like an Instagram search.
Yeah, I'll show you him. Yeah. I visited. It was always cool. Like, it was always a good time over there. Definitely different. Like, I went to Cornell, so it's just.
Oh wow! Impressive. Stop. Look at that.
I wasn't even saying it to flex. It was just very different college experiences.
Yeah. I'm sure.
But yeah, so you went to TCNJ. Mm-hmm. What like went into the decision making process?
There wasn't much. I followed my sister there.
Okay.
Yeah, everything she did, I kind of did, which is cool. But I didn't want to go there. That was my big thing. I was like, I'm not following my sister to college. Like, followed her. We didn't go to the same high school, but I went to the sister school. So I was like, I don't want to follow her there. It's like I'm tired of being in her shadow. And then Paramore performed at her college at TCNJ for like some, I don't know, spring festival or whatever.
Yeah.
So she was like, come spend the weekend. We'll see Paramore. So we used to like see them. I mean, still, we'll go to like any other shows.
Yeah.
She's like, we'll come. We'll see them. And then like you can tour the school. Because my parents forced me to apply. Because they were like, your sister's there. She got like a really great scholarship. So they were like, the likelihood of you getting that is like higher because she also has it. So it was like a whole thing. So I applied basically just to make them happy. And then I wanted to go to Montclair State really bad. I was like, I'm going to Montclair State. Like, there's no point in me seeing any other schools. Like, that's where I'm going. And then I went, saw Paramore, had so much fun.
They're a great live show.
Great live show.
I saw them in 2014 as well. They performed at Good Morning America.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So me and my friends woke up at like 4 a.m.
Totally different vibe.
Yeah, it went. It was dope. It was super dope.
I love that. But so then I remember looking out to like the quad the next day, like super early in the morning. And I was like, wow, it's beautiful here. Like the grass is green. Like, because TCNJ's campus is beautiful.
It is,
like red brick, so gorgeous. And I was like, no, I want to come here.
Yeah.
And then it happened to be Accepted Students Day. So we did like a little bit of like a tour of the art building and stuff like that. And I was like, okay, I'm coming here. Called my parents and I was like, don't worry about it. This is where I'm going. And no one could believe it. It was like shock of the year.
Did you look at any schools outside of New Jersey?
I really wanted to go to Pratt, obviously in the city.
Yeah.
And then Emerson in Boston.
Yes. Very familiar with that school.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it didn't work out, but that's okay. I love TCNJ so much, and it brought me my best friends, so I can't even like complain. Mm-hmm.
I was so pressed to get away from my parents. Like high school between us, it was very contentious for us. So I was thinking Texas, California,
oh my God, no,
Florida.
No.
They didn't actually let me apply to like any of those schools. Like,
and the application fees, I'm sure, were through the roof.
Yeah, I want to say the furthest school that I applied to was Georgetown.
Okay, cool. That's cool school
or UNC. Coincidentally, two of the schools that didn't accept me. But then, like, I get into Cornell, I'm like, holy shit, Ivy League.
And great school, yeah.
Yeah, and good scholarship money. I was like, well, I mean, I don't really have a choice.
Yeah.
Like, and then Syracuse is where I really wanted to go.
That's where my sister wanted to go. The journalism program's really good.
Newhouse is amazing. And
Newhouse, yes.
It was like my brother went to Syracuse, so I didn't want to follow his footsteps. And I was in this like pre-college program that was super connected with them. So like they waived our application fees. Nice. We got to go to their summer college program for free, test prep, all that stuff. So it just seemed like all the stars lined up for me to get into Syracuse. They waitlisted me.
They waitlisted my sister too.
Then like 2 weeks after they accept me, but by then I'd already committed to Cornell, and Syracuse's financial aid package was super weak too.
Yeah.
So, but I ended up getting to visit a lot, especially after I crossed my frat. So it ended up working out. But I was like staying in Jersey was not it. Like I applied to Rutgers, I got in there. I applied to Rider, I got in there.
Rider was the first school to accept me.
Yeah, they might have been my first. No, it was Fordham. Fordham was my first acceptance. I think Rider was like number 2.
Rider told me over the phone.
Wow.
And
phone calls.
I was like, well, it was like I had to submit some financial aid package, and I wasn't sure if they got it. So I called to triple check, and they were like, by the way, I just want to tell you, like, you have been officially accepted or whatever. I was like, I'm going to college.
Yeah, yo, it's good. Like that first acceptance, because like some of your friends do early decision.
Yeah, no, there was no way I was doing that.
Yeah, or like whatever the rolling admission is type stuff.
Oh, I didn't do that either.
A bunch of people find out super early. I didn't hear from Fordham until like maybe the beginning of December. So, which is really not that long of a wait.
That's early, I feel like.
Compared to all my friends who were getting into their schools for a variety of reasons, I was like, yo, like this first, I need this first acceptance. So I got Fordham, and then I think it was like Rider after that, then Rutgers, then University of Maryland, then Cornell and Lehigh the same day.
Wow. My memory's not that good. I couldn't tell you anything else.
I have a really oddly, scarily good memory.
I have a really bad memory.
Yeah, it's really scary. Like I want to say the day I found out I got into Cornell, because that was the day I was supposed to hear from Syracuse. I was on a trip to Philly with my AP U.S. history class. We like AP U.S. history, AP Gov, and the freshman history students would go to Philly every year to like go to the like
the Bell or something.
Yeah. Like there was like a museum or whatever, like a bunch of shit out there.
Yeah.
So we'd always go. And we'd grab some cheesesteaks. And that day I had like a really bad internship interview. So my vibes were just super low. But I was like, I'm going to hear from Syracuse. I'm going to get in. It's going to be good. And then I get an email from Cornell about diversity hosting. And they're like, you know, first paragraph, hey, we want to invite you to campus, do this, blah, blah. And then like in the second paragraph, very like nonchalantly, it's like, you're getting invited because you're getting accepted to the class of 2017. I'm like, you couldn't put this in the subject line or something? Like,
not great.
So I'm like, what the fuck? But I want to say that might have been like March 5th, 2013. I think I remember the exact date of that. I'll have to check
love that actually. Yeah. Let's get that information.
I'll look, but yeah, I'd scarily remember like dates and shit very
that's impressive.
Very vividly. But TCNJ, how was the 4 years there? You were involved in a lot of different shit.
Not that involved.
Honor societies, student advisory boards, Lions Television, radio, peer educator.
Oh my God,
like,
yeah.
You was busy.
There's a lot of stuff that I didn't remember that I did, but you're right. I did do a few of those things.
A few. More than a few.
I had a good time. I think I mean, it was great. I'm trying to think back. It's like my memory is so bad, but
it feels so far away.
It feels so far away.
You were class 2018, right?
2018.
Yeah, so that's 7 years. You're getting old.
I know. Don't say it out loud. That's crazy. I had a really good time. I really liked the program. We were the film program was like underappreciated, and I feel like still is. But I learned so much because we were so small.
Yeah.
So we got an opportunity to kind of do it all. And then, I got involved in some of like the peer educator stuff on like the mental health side, which has always been super important to me. So did a lot of stuff with that foundation. And then, I forgot that I was a part of the Honor Society, but I was. I'm trying to think back. Lines TV, that was something that I did, I think like the first 2 or 3 years while I was there, which was like a lot of fun. Got to really kind of like do creative stuff.
Yeah.
And that was our first kind of like push into creating things that we were interested in, which was awesome, and working with our peers and doing kind of like weird side projects and getting really to know that class, because since we were so small, it was like everyone kind of did Lines TV. And then the radio stuff was so much fun. I remember I had a show for 2 years. I had 2 different shows, or maybe I had 3. Maybe I had 3, I think. But I had such a good time. The only thing is like the challenge was you could only play stuff that like CDs that they had in rotation. So our choices were limited. But back then, when it was more appropriate, we had like old Kanye albums. So you were allowed to play one song every hour off of like an old CD that wasn't in the rotation. So it was really cool to kind of like dive into those older albums that you're like, wait, like I can't believe they have this here, because it was all alternative music. So it was all like indie stuff that you wouldn't hear on the radio. So you kind of had to like get creative. But that was a lot of fun. I used to just like chat on it and played whatever I wanted, and we played our favorite songs every single week, which was great because I'm sure people listened and they were like, they played the same 5 songs. And I loved it. I ate it up. That was a lot of fun. It was a good time. I really enjoyed myself at TCNJ. Can't complain.
Yeah, it sounds like you really made the most of the college experience. Like I remember telling myself when I went, I don't want to be the type of student who just goes to class, goes back to my room and watches Netflix. Like I want to be involved. I want to make a difference on campus. And so I was obviously joined my frat, Alpha Phi Alpha, which started at Cornell, first black frat. So that was awesome. And then I was a member of the Multicultural Greek Letter Council, which has changed to Multicultural Greek something. I don't know. The acronym has changed. It's been years. I don't care. It's undergrad stuff now. But I was in like a freestyle rap group for a little bit. I played club rugby.
Oh, I love the club rugby games at TCNJ. Were so fun.
Rugby was lit, and we would party our asses off too. It was a blast. We It was lit. I stopped it after freshman year, but I was still really cool with all of them.
The guys, yeah.
Most of the guys on the team were in the same frat, so I would see them all the time.
Nice.
What else did I do? I was in this group called Cayuga's Watchers, which was pretty much like they would plant students at parties that were like dressed normally, but were actually like there to monitor students for incidents with alcohol or harassment, all that type of stuff.
That is kind of iconic.
Yeah, it was dope.
I'm sure there's crazy stories off of that.
Oh, so many. So yeah, wow. Like I was on like the advisory board for that. Mm-hmm. And it was, I mean, some crazy stuff happened in my time at Cornell. So that was a really good thing that they instituted. What else did I do? I can't even remember just because it's been a while. And I was part of like a secret honor society too. But
oh, cool! I wasn't elite enough for that type of stuff.
It's okay.
It's not. Yeah. I was also like, I don't know. I don't know.
Nothing crazy happened.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. You were like, it sounds like you were super involved in the Greek life thing.
Yeah.
I was Greek life too, but not as involved in any advisory boards. Like they were like, you wanna do? I'm like, I'm good. Like we're fine here. Yeah. We'll just do what we need to do. I did do like the recruitment videos once or twice, which I think like obviously lent me well to now, but.
Yeah. So I look back on my college experience. Like the only thing I would have done better is applied myself more in class. Like
interesting. I don't think I've ever sat there and thought that, to be honest.
My GPA was not great. Thankfully, I'm in music journalism, so they don't care about GPAs. Yeah. But I had to do an extra semester just because I was not locked in academically. Fair. But hey, when it came to social life, parties, and stepping and strolling, all that, I was great at all that stuff.
Side. Yeah, you had a good time.
Yeah, I definitely had a blast. Cornell definitely made the most of it. But so you get to your senior year. Mm-hmm. Were you one of those fortunate students who like had a job lined up before graduation?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, good for you.
I did. Yeah. Good well, it didn't pan out the way you think.
Right.
It was one of those things where I had a lot of internships, so I wanted to specifically be an editor, specifically in short form, so commercial based work and music videos. That was the goal. So I had this like weird video directory. Mm-hmm. I don't know where I got this from. I think like a professor had it, and I started calling just post production houses because TCNJ isn't really known for having any ties to like post production spaces.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have anyone to talk to. So I kind of went through that directory and started calling and emailing and researching, and I would just like cold email all these places. I'd email like 60 places a day and just introduce myself and say like, if you need an intern, let me know. I'm down to do whatever, anything you need, I'm here. And through that, I think I got like only 2 responses. And this was the summer before, this was leading up to my summer before senior year.
Okay.
So I ended up having 2 internships, one in Philadelphia, one in New York at the same time. So I had to be in New York Monday, Tuesday, Philadelphia Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. I was in New York.
Wow.
And I was working for 2 post-production companies. They didn't know about each other. And I was scared they were going to find out.
Finessing.
Yeah. I was staying at TCNJ at someone's like apartment that there was a room that was unlocked.
Yeah.
So I was staying in this empty room. People didn't know. I had to kind of like sneak in and out, but that's how I got to like Philly. And then I would stay at home for when I was working in New York. So it was like a crazy time. I slept a lot on the NJ Transit trains. But yeah, through that, I ended up getting a full-time offer at the New York company. Was planning to start, and then they closed down right before I was set to start.
Holy shit.
So I did graduate with a job lined up.
Yeah.
But
and then
didn't
the
end up
job just
starting.
went poof.
Yeah, so
how long was that period before like finding a new job?
A few months. I want to say by September, I was already working somewhere.
Yeah.
And that was only because I was like, I will be an intern. Like, I will work for free. Yeah. Anything you need, I'm here. Like, I'll work my way up. Nothing is too small. Like, I really don't care. I just want to be there and I want to learn. And I was so willing and eager. So yeah, I ended up working at like a women's magazine for a little bit. And that was fun.
That Babe.
Yeah, Babe.net.
Gotcha. Then from there, you go to Team Whistle, right?
Yes.
And that is where the sporty girly in you came to be.
Yeah.
So what was the experience like there? What ultimately, obviously Babe closed down, right?
Babe closed down,
kind of had to find something.
I lost my gig.
So the process of getting to Team Whistle, and what was the experience like there?
Yeah, so
you were there for like a few years, right?
I was at Whistle for a little over 3 years.
Yeah.
Babe closed down. Interesting that you know that. I don't know how you found that out, but I remember the day it happened too. Actually, that I remember very vividly, probably because it was traumatizing. But yeah, I lost my job at Babe, and then, well, everyone lost their job at Babe.
Babe lost Babe.
Babe lost Babe. It was fun while it lasted, but it was not sustainable now that I think back at it. But yeah, and I started just like applying anywhere. And I was just like, I just need something. Yeah. And again, I was like, I'll be an intern. Like it got to that. I was like, I don't care. I'm not really good at sitting at home and doing nothing. So I had a really good friend from high school hit me up, and she was dating someone who was working at Whistle. And she knew that I lost my job, and she was like, my partner is at this sports company. Not sure you're interested, but they're looking for an intern. If you want, I'll introduce you. And I was like, okay, cool. So through that introduction, I landed an interview, and I hadn't met my friend's partner yet at all.
Wow.
But they were like, sure, like you're friends with Lynn's, like we'll get you in. And I was like, cool.
Shout out to that.
Yeah. SK, the GOAT. So
they're still together?
No.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, damn.
Sadly, but I love both of them.
Yeah.
I love both of them. So it worked out for me because I got two really good friends.
There we go.
But yeah, so SK took me under their wing and introduced me to, I believe he was like the head of video at the time, and was just like, this is my friend Emily. Mind you, that was the first time we ever met. Like, I was unsure I was going to even recognize them.
Yeah.
So I was like, kind of like, I don't know, I'll just pretend like I'll just follow their lead. And they were really great and kind of really pushed for me. Got hired on the spot, which was really cool.
Hey.
Yeah, I'm like proud of that one. And then, yeah, I worked my way up from intern to like, I think it was like technically a fellow because they like were paying me. So I was a fellow. And then, yeah, I landed my full-time job. I was potentially going to leave before they offered me a full-time because I was like, guys, like, are we doing this or are we not?
Yeah.
And then some people from that post-production company that closed down were hitting me on the side and were like, hey, do you want to go and work at this like post-production house, which was the dream, right? And I was like, when I was at Whistle, I was like, I'm not a sports girl per se. Like, I like sports, but these people live and breathe and they love sports. They're diehards. And I felt like I didn't have that. So I was just like, it's, you know, I don't know. The dream was always that, right?
Yeah.
So I was trying to make that happen. And then I remembered like they would spend all night at the post-production house and like their life was the post-production house. And I was like, that's not what I want. And I have a little bit of work-life balance here. So I was like, thank you for the offer. I appreciate it, but I'm going to stick here. And I kind of burned a little bit of bridges. People were kind of upset with me over that, but it worked out for my mental health. So
yeah, no, you gotta make the best decision for you. I think that's the biggest lesson I've learned over the years is like, I was just doing everything for career, like coming to the city with barely any money.
Yeah.
And just to meet one person with the hope that maybe something would happen for me, or just staying up late hours writing, or just doing a lot of things. And I think at the time, you know, being unemployed and having that time, it wasn't a big deal. But you know, looking back, it's just like, it's
tough though. It's not a big deal, but it's tough on the body. It's tough on the mind.
Yeah. So I'm huge on the, like, I take like a day off a month now. Like I'm just like,
I need to get like you. I need to be doing that.
Yeah. I'd highly suggest it. Or like when I travel, I'll take there's like, so let's say I get back on a Monday, I'll take that Tuesday off too, just so I have that day to like recharge.
I should really
and then
do that.
Go back to work. Like I'm very big on, like, you know, hey, they might need me. You know, I could just jump back into work. I could work while I'm out of town, but fuck that. Nah, I'm gonna just,
No, because even like the president of the company, the CEO of the company can take days off and the company doesn't fall apart. So like not for nothing. We're great and integral, but it's not going to fall apart without us.
Yeah. Yeah. And then, you know, you make the transition to Billboard, and like, I remember my experiences with Billboard. You know, it became something that I had pursued because of Regina, because she was interning there while she was at Syracuse. She and I have been close since like 2014.
She's so cool.
Yeah, she's
one of the coolest people ever, can I say?
Genuinely one of my closest friends. Like just work stuff, life stuff, all type of stuff. Like I don't think there's anything Reggie and I can't talk about. So I appreciate
such good
her.
people, yeah.
But yeah, so I saw her doing her thing at Billboard, and she was one of the first people I talked about when I transitioned to music journalism. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna pursue this too. So I applied for an internship in like 2019, didn't get it. I was like, well, I'm gonna still keep going hard. And then my cousin, she was like a music, she was one of the editors at Billboard for a little bit of time.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So she had me come to one of the like live performance things. It was BJ the Chicago Kid.
Nice.
So I got to see him perform. I met Carl that day.
Oh, that's really
got
cool.
his number, all that. I remember it so vividly.
It's like all the characters came together.
My friend Katie Spalletti was working there at the time too.
I know Katie.
She's awesome.
Yeah, I met her at a party once. She was great. Yeah. Good people.
I've known her since high school because she's from Jersey too, Richfield.
Yes.
So we used to party together in high school and stuff. So yeah, known Katie forever. And so yeah, she would advocate for me. Reggie would advocate for me. I had a cousin there, but things just didn't work out. I remember I don't know if Carl remembers this, but like
we should ask him.
There was a day in 2021 where it was like the night that Drake was about to drop some new music, and I really wanted to cover it. And Billboard had just been not getting back to any of my pitches. So I texted Carl. I was like, yo, I will write about this thing for free. I just want to do it so bad. I just want to write for Billboard.
Carl's the type to be like, not for free.
Yeah, like he didn't respond to me. And at the time, I took it personally. But, you know, timing was everything, because a year later, he hits me up randomly on like a Monday. And he's like, yo, do you want to go to this show tonight? Like, and then you can interview these artists. And then, you know, you can, you know, write the piece for Billboard. I was like, hell the fuck yeah. And so I did that. And then I'm sorry, that actually wasn't even my first time writing for them, because I interviewed Maxo Cream for Billboard in like 2021. And then I did the Coast Contra piece. I think I did one more. I don't fully remember. But yeah, so Billboard was just always this like this huge thing that I was just like always chasing. I just wanted to be a part of it. It just seemed like one of the holy grails for a music journalist. Yeah. And so from your side of things, you know, the video side, like when that, you know, became an opportunity for you, like how did you feel? Like what was the whole process of pursuing that?
Yeah, so it was actually kind of a whirlwind. It was one of those things where I was like, when I was working at Whistle, loved it, but it was one of those situations where I got to work on really cool things like the Olympics and stuff like that, you know, like once in a lifetime opportunities. But I just wasn't as excited about it as my peers. Yeah. And I was like, that's so unfortunate. Like I should be as excited as all of them to be working like March Madness. Like, and we were working these deals with like directly with all these brands, right? Like NBC Sports, and all that stuff. So it was like super connected and exciting stuff that I just wasn't as excited for. Yeah. So I was just like, I'm only going to apply to jobs, especially because I had the stability, to jobs that were in the stuff that I'm interested in. So when I saw the Billboard posting, it was actually Billboard and the Hollywood Reporter. So I was under both brands when I got hired, but it was one of those things where I was like, oh, I get to do music and entertainment. Like this is so me. This is like kind of like the Mecca, right? So I applied, I got one interview, and then they were like, we didn't even really talk about the job, to be honest. We talked about the spelling of Justin Bieber's name and the importance of spell check. And I was like, yeah, I'm a terrible speller. Like that's a big thing for me, is like I'm a big attention to detail person. So like I will read everything and then check everything because I am a bad speller. So I'm like, that's something that I just like really, I don't know, put a lot of emphasis on. So that was like the conversation that we ended up having. And then
sounds like y'all clicked.
Yeah, it was great. No, it was awesome. I was like, cool. Then I got a call from HR being like, they want to offer you like the job. And I was like, that's great, but I don't know what the job is. So like, can I talk to whoever's in the position now? And I came in as a content manager. So a content manager, for those who don't know, is just like essentially uploading all the video content across the board. So you're doing QC and then like the metadata, title, description, all of that stuff. So on all social platforms, YouTube.com, everything. So yeah, I like sat down with the person who was in my position and I kind of interviewed them. And I was like, what do you do all day? Like, I just need to know to see if this is something I even want to do. So I didn't want to like join a team, especially because I liked my team at Whistle. I was like, first off, I loved my boss. And I was so scared to leave because I was like, I'm not going to find a boss like TK. He's incredible. And Joe was great, who was like, I think now is like the president of the company. All really great people that I admire and love to this day. So I was just like, if I'm leaving them, it has to be for something really great. So yeah. And I was like, okay, no, I'm interested in this. I'm down. And I was just like, sure. like when do I start? And then it was a tough goodbye for Whistle for me. I cried telling my boss, and he didn't want to let me go. He's like, I'm not going to let you go. I'm not accepting your resignation.
Yeah.
And then he was like, I'm only like, where are you going? And when I told him, he was like, all right, but it's only because you've loved music. Like everyone knows this about you. If it was any other place, I wouldn't let you go. Which is like such a super sweet moment between the two of us. But yeah, and I've been there ever since.
That's amazing. And within years, you've risen up to your senior role.
Crazy. I don't know who allowed that. Too much power.
I mean, it's cool to see that upward mobility. I think that's, for some people, especially myself, thinking about myself, like, I feel like I figure things out really fast, and I'm ambitious. And I think when you're ambitious, you might get dissatisfied doing the same thing for a long period of time. So you want a new challenge. And I'm assuming now that you are overseeing other people that it presents new responsibilities and challenges. So it's difficult to maybe get bored or feel like you've mastered what you've been doing.
And I think like if I get bored, that's a problem. I always want to be learning and growing, and that was a big thing taking me from content management to where I'm at now, because I would sit there with Brian, who's not on the team anymore, but I would be like, can I just watch you produce something?
Yeah.
Like, even if it's just me sitting there and like taking notes, just so that I can understand how this works, to see if this is something that I'm even interested in. I remember talking to Chris George, who's like my right hand at Billboard. He's like a DP editor. And I remember just being like, can I watch you edit something? I just want to see you as you're working through your timeline. Like, you don't have to explain anything to me. I want to just like, I don't want to bother you. I just want to see it so that I can learn maybe by you doing something.
Yeah. And
they were so incredibly kind with their time and with their knowledge and teaching me everything that they know. And I'll forever be thankful for that, because I think it's an opportunity, and not a lot of people, they don't need to give you that. And I'm so thankful that they did, because it's really helped me get me where I'm at today. And I don't want to ever stop learning. When I stop learning, that's when I know it's an issue and I need to move on. So I'm so happy that I'm still kind of like learning and being challenged.
No, absolutely. Have you had a moment, whether it's traveling somewhere for something or talking to someone, where it's like, wow, I'm really here?
Oh, so many times. Gosh. When I met the Jonas Brothers for the first time.
That's huge.
Yeah, that for me, when they called me and told me, I almost cried at my desk and I didn't know what to do. And James, who sits next to me, is like, I feel like you're having a moment. And I was like, I am. I'm going through something right now. I was like, I don't know. Like, that was always a dream.
Yeah.
I interviewed J Balvin for his cover.
That's hard.
That was incredible, because he was so kind.
Yeah.
And and I spoke to him on a carpet prior that. He was so kind there too, but to do his cover, I think, was super special. We did like a chart history roundup where I got to tell him, like, this song hit #1 on this day, like, what do you remember about it? And him going through the stories of creating songs that soundtracked my life, I think was so special. And him being so incredible in person and so personable and like so willing to talk about it and humble. Just like, those are moments that I'll never forget, because they were just, I never thought that I would ever live that, you know? So
that's the awesome thing about our job. And I think that's the only thing people see. So they think it's just, you're meeting celebrities every day. You're traveling every, like, no, a lot of days are actually kind of just like,
sit at the desk.
Yeah. Like, we post what we do on Instagram when it's a big deal, but like, pay attention to the dates, because like, it might be once every 2 months.
Yeah, you're not seeing a ton. You're not seeing a ton.
And then there's some things I just don't feel like I need to post anymore.
100%.
Yeah, our jobs seem very cool, and our job is really cool. It's a privilege to work in music and entertainment,
and at these legacy companies.
Exactly. Too. Yeah. It comes with a lot of other things, challenges, and different things that are difficult to navigate, but. I mean, and especially you guys, like, I'm in awe of everything that y'all do. Y'all are constantly pumping out so much stuff, and you have a significantly larger staff than us.
Yeah,
so,
for sure.
You can do that, but I'm like, Carl's like really boosted the wrestling stuff that y'all are doing.
So cool. I love to see that.
Yeah. And all the sports stuff too. Like, it's cool. It's aspirational. Like, so especially being in the same space as y'all, like, when I see, Carl, Chris, or Sap talking about something that they're doing, I'm just like, wow, fire. Like, always, you guys are always just on top of it. So I'm sure, but that comes with a lot of work and planning.
A lot of work, a lot of planning. It's great to, like, having these conversations are always great, because you could take a step back and really look at it, because when you're in the day-to-day, it's hard to see how cool it is.
Yeah, it just feels like That's what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah.
Like, it's just what I do. Yeah.
Yeah. I had like a super tough shoot on Friday.
Mhm.
And then I stepped back and I was like, wait, the person I interviewed was a legend.
Mhm.
It's iconic.
Yeah.
This was just, and you're so in it of like, I need to get what I need to get. You're kind of like tunnel vision that it's hard to remember those things in the moment. And then now like thinking back, I'm like, that is, that's what dreams are made of. Like that was my dream. I'm living my dream. So even when it like, cause there's all jobs suck, right? There's always something that you don't love about your job. And that's just like the nature of the game. I have to remind myself of like, this was always the goal. This was always the dream. Like I'm so lucky because a lot of people don't have that opportunity.
Yeah. And it's, for us creators, we're driven by the happiness and the satisfaction. Like money's great. This is
definitely
most
great.
money
We love
I've ever made. And I didn't know I'd even make this much money writing, but it was never about money for me. It was always achieving what I knew I could, and then being satisfied with what I'm doing. And so that's why working a real job was never for me.
Yeah.
Like there was a time I thought I was going to go to law school. It didn't happen. Doctor never appealed to me. Finance never appealed to me. Engineering never appealed to me. None of the expected or the stuff that your aunt, uncle, cousin, grandma would want you to do. Like I was like, nah. Once I decided I was going to be a music journalist, like I pursued that relentlessly, stubbornly, and made it happen. And with that, being so emotionally attached to it can often make it even more difficult sometimes.
Yeah.
But, we are really blessed to do what we do and be where we are. Like just the concept of like, I just brought this artist in for a playback today. Like it's just so cool to bring up in casual conversation with my friends.
100%.
Like, I had this person, come up to the office and show them around. Nothing, no big deal.
Yeah.
Big deal though. Like I'm trying not to fan out when I'm with the actual person, but then when I tell my friends, I'm like,
do you still get like that?
It depends who. It depends who. Like I've definitely calmed down. One, because I just feel like, I got to be professional, but it's some people who I get around, and it might be tough to do that.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, even still to this day, and judge me if y'all want, but listeners, like if and when I meet Drake, it's gonna be.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. I feel like I'd feel some type of way too.
Yeah,
but then I don't know. I met Miguel, I met Wiz, and them. I had a photo of Wiz in my locker in high school.
Wow.
So like meeting Wiz, I was like, I don't want to look at him. I don't want I just don't even want to interact because it just like it's too much. I love him, and that was like pretty okay for me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe but there's definitely still those people. I'm sure that I'll get like.
Yeah, and I mean, the most basic advice that people tell you, and you just have to remind yourself, is these are normal people at the end of the day. Like, they're millionaires. They made classic music. They've soundtracked your life, but they're just humans, and you just talk to them like a human. Especially like them with their busy schedules. Like they don't be wanting all that energy. Yeah. So like
and this is a blip in their day. Like, so be so honest.
Yeah. So, okay, awesome. Before we transition into the Patreon.
Okay.
I have a fun activity for you. A couple fun questions for you. So, favorite Disney Channel movie?
Ooh, High School Musical 1.
Okay.
Oh, no, 2.
Two is the one. Two got You Are the Music and Me. Like that might be like the best song to come out of Bet On is classic. Yeah. I Gotta Go My Own Way. Was that 2?
Yes, it is.
That was 2, right? Is. 2 upped it. Like one was good, and then 2 kind of took it up to another level. 3, I don't know if I've even seen 3 in full.
There's no 4.
There's no 4.
I wish there was a 4.
Yeah.
3 is the last one. It was the one in theaters. So if you didn't go to the theater, I don't know if you've seen it, but it is on Disney Plus. Highly recommend. Yeah. Still emotional because it's the graduation,
Yeah. I do remember the one song. Now or never. Yeah.
So good.
But not 2 is special. I'd have to go. A little earlier than that. Luck of the Irish. Was.
It kind of scared me. From what I remember,
it did a little bit. That leprechaun, whatever he was.
And then was he the same guy who became a merman?
That was someone else.
Oh,
but I also do love that movie. I think that was called the 13th Year.
The 13th, is it?
Yeah,
yes, I think so.
Year,
that one also scared me too. So I don't know.
I get it. A guy with whatever the fins on his arm.
Yeah. The scales.
Yeah. Especially when he could like create electricity or whatever.
Yeah, freaky.
That one scene.
No.
Were you a Nickelodeon kid, a Cartoon Network kid, or a Disney Channel?
Disney
kid?
For sure.
Yeah. It's tough. Like, I think my initial thought is Disney, but Nickelodeon was no slouch. You had Drake and Josh, you had Zoe 101, you had Ned's Classified.
They were good.
SpongeBob.
Okay, huge SpongeBob girl for sure. Yeah, but like they were like excluding SpongeBob because SpongeBob is amazing, iconic, legendary, right? Yeah. Like up there with everything.
Yeah.
But those were good. Oh my God.
That's So Raven.
So good.
Sweet Life of Zack and Cody, Lizzie McGuire.
Iconic.
And our age group is cool because like we caught the tail end of those like early 2000s shows, the Lizzie McGuire's, the Even Stevens, and then we got Sweet Life, Hannah Montana, That's
Jonas
So Raven, Jonas L.A.
Which you were not going to say. Don't pretend like you were going to say Jonas L.A.
But it's okay. Like I'll say it for your sake.
Thank you.
We'll group it in. I forget that there was that other show that was like it would come on during the commercials of
with Allison Stoner in it. No,
I don't know. It's gonna bother me.
The Max something show. No,
I don't know.
Oh.
I'll think of it eventually.
Yeah,
but
I'm intrigued.
Yeah, I mean, for me, it's neck and neck between. Well, no, Disney's a little bit ahead.
That's what I thought.
But
Let's be so for real. There's no way. Good
because if you go back to like throwback Nickelodeon, all that Keenan and Kel.
Yeah, but I feel like
Amanda Show
for sure so good. But I don't think that like my brain was developed enough to like that as much as I should have at the time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Where it's like when I was watching Hannah Montana, like that was the moment for me. Like I was the audience for that.
And then when they did that like collab episode with Hannah Montana, That's So Raven and Sweet Life, or they did like 3 collab
and
episodes.
They did one with Wizards.
Yes,
Wizards. Yeah,
Wizards of Waverly Place was also pretty good.
I don't know why we didn't say Wizards. Wizards was good
because that one came. I think I was like I had to be like towards the end of middle school at that point.
Yeah, I think so.
Did you like Sweet Life of On Deck?
On Deck. Yeah, I liked On Deck.
It was cool.
The new Wizards like reboot is good.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't even know those were
Yeah. It's with it follows Justin and his kids. It makes me laugh. I like it.
Okay.
I haven't finished it though, so maybe the last couple episodes were not great, but I loved it.
Okay, we'll have to check that out. Finish the lyrics.
Oh, this is bad. I'm gonna be really bad at this.
If the heart is always searching, can you ever find a home? I've been looking for that someone. I'll never make it on my own.
Dreams can't take the pain of loving you, right?
It's gonna be a million reasons why it's true when you look me in the eye. Okay, all right.
So good. Was that right?
You know, ball. It was.
Okay.
Yeah. Jonas Brothers. When you look me in the eyes.
I'm very nervous.
Why?
With this one? Why? Because I feel like I have a lot to prove.
Okay.
Like,
well, one last one. Let's see if you get this one. Todos están pendientes a ti, pero tú puesta pa mí, haciendo que me odien más.
I don't know. This is Bad Bunny. No,
Bad Bunny and Drake. Mia. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It would probably help if I sang it to the melody, but.
No, I heard it, but I couldn't. Oh, this is Drake in Spanish.
Drake's verse.
Yes.
Porque todos quieren probar. Yeah, I didn't take the other line. That's my song though. I love that song. Love that song. Okay, great. We're gonna transition to Patreon to get some of Emily's unfiltered thoughts about life, other things. So if you're not subscribed to the Patreon, make sure you subscribe. Patreon.com/StayBusyPod. That was our episode for the week. Do you want the people to follow you at all? Do you want them to leave you alone? I know you like to keep your life private.
Follow me if you want. I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if I'll accept you. That's the big thing. Yeah.
Okay, you are private. Yeah.
But if you want, feel free.
Yeah. So at Emily X Moment.
Emily Moment X.
Emily Moment X. Okay, see, I almost fucked that up. You would end up following some random person.
Yeah, that would be awkward for you.
But yeah, maybe you'll be lucky enough for her to accept you, maybe not. But just make sure you be nice and be respectful,
please,
all of you. But yeah, that's our episode for the week. Hope you all enjoyed, and most importantly, make sure that you stay safe, stay healthy, and stay busy.